Mac brought this up as a wild possibility a couple of weeks ago, but now I think we got to take it seriously. What's the possibility? And I've got a little bit more than this. I got to fill this out. What's the possibility of an Oregon-Indiana Big Ten championship game? Hold on, let me explain.
Yeah.
Oregon faces Illinois this week, and that is likely the only challenging game left on their schedule. So let's just say Oregon wins out because nothing else is going on their schedule. Indiana has to win out, but they only have one challenging game left on their schedule, Ohio State. Penn State, currently number 2 in the Big Ten, has to also beat Ohio State. Ohio State has to beat both Penn State and Indiana. So when it comes down to it, Indiana and Penn State have the easier schedule than Ohio State.
Indiana and Oregon. You said
No, Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh, Penn State. I'm sorry. I thought you said Ohio State twice. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So this is the question then. Will the Big Ten championship, what is the possibility of an Oregon-Indiana Big Ten championship? Garrison, go ahead.
How about percentages?
Hey, whatever, however you want to frame it.
I'll tell you a bigger problem. We're on Penn State Indiana schedule. I think that's a bigger problem.
All right.
I do too. A shout out to Big Noon Kickoff for answering prayers, putting the game at noon in Happy Valley. Thank you for that.
I'm gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Hold on. Wait. Nebraska's on their schedule. You forgot them.
I'm sorry. In 2 weeks.
And they're tough games.
Yeah.
And they're tough games.
Yeah.
Sorry, the team that just got blown out 56
Hey,
to 7.
What? Oh,
but no, I just.
I was looking at rank.
But no, I just don't. We're gonna beat Indiana. We're gonna beat them. And Penn State. I think we're gonna be. We're gonna beat them. Yeah, we're not.
Wait, okay, but hold on. Like, no question at all. You think Ohio State, no question, beats Indiana?
I give it maybe a 5%. If that's a lot. That's actually a lot.
You're asking Ohio State to have their worst game.
Here's the thing. Here's my little input. Indiana will be 10-0 when they face us. They have a bye week to prepare. They got 2 weeks to prepare for the horseshoe. Wow, it's a game I'm considering snatching up a ticket to. I mean, wow. Mm-hmm. I truly do believe Indiana will be 10-0. They will come out firing out the gates, but they are not going to
They're not 3 deep
in that contest.
Yeah.
And Ohio State has Michigan the next week.
They'll be 11-1.
Thing that gave me slight pause.
Yeah, guys, I'll just say that I saw Indiana play before we played this last weekend, and I was like, wow, okay, so that's
they like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
A couple years from now, the Hoosiers are going to be in my humble
really bad.
opinion, I think the Hoosiers are going to be serious contenders in the Big Ten.
I'm literally going to go to the store after the show is done tonight and buy myself a Hoosier shirt. That's going to happen. Actually, when I say the store, I mean I got to drive down to the Indiana border, which is about an hour away. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a tomorrow thing. But I'm buying an Indiana shirt, and I'm about to be an insufferable Indiana bandwagon fan for the next month.
I'm already there.
If Cignetti beats Ohio State, he's about to have a cult. Like, he's about to start a whole religion up in Bloomington or something.
If Cignetti beats Ohio State, he's not Indiana's coach next year.
No, I bet you they pay him whatever.
They're going to unload the Brinks truck to pay that.
Yeah,
I don't care. Somebody else will unload a bigger Brinks truck.
I feel like Cignetti has a point to prove there.
Yeah.
The point that he can win. We already know he can win.
He can bring Indiana to like where they've never been and be just the guy and have a statue built of him, or he can go to somewhere else and we see how that's going for Kalen DeBoer. Trying to follow up somebody at a big school where if you don't win immediately, 11 games,
Phillips said,
ass the can.
If he goes to Michigan, there's not a lot of follow-up on, so that'll be good for him.
If he goes to Michigan, at this point, he's following up Sharon Moore, and Sharon Moore might not make a bowl game. So
they will pull out of that basketball NIL fund to make sure they can keep him.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
No.
So
don't underestimate a desperate Michigan. That's all I'm going to say.
That's not that desperate.
Go ahead, Rob. Just talk over him. You're fine.
So I called my shot at the beginning of the year about Ohio State. It was not all sunshine Columbus. This was not like this super team that's just going to roll through everybody. I saw this as a team that was going to need to take an early loss, which was Oregon. I had them, Oregon as the number one team to beat Ohio State, and they did just that. Now, I think that, Ryan Day says, oh, it's not a wake-up call. Well, after all the miscues and penalties, it's a wake-up call, and I think they're just going to beat everybody in the path. So, no, I don't think Indiana is going to end up at the Big Ten championship game against Oregon. I think Ohio State's going to have a chance at revenge. Do I see Indiana there in like 1 or 2 years, possibly? Yeah, Cignetti's done a really good job. I guarantee no Indiana fan was ever looking at this big of a turnaround from what they've had. So, hats off to him. But I will say that we do need to start taking Indiana really seriously. They will go. They will. I know, and I really hope the Buckeyes are ready.
So I think everybody's in kind of agreement there that they could be 10-0 going into Ohio State. So that means a win over Washington, Michigan State, and Michigan. They'll probably beat Purdue. But I'm looking at, and again, maybe you guys are hitting it out already that Indiana isn't 3 deep, but they are still putting up, after 7 games, they are still putting up 48 points a game.
That's impressive.
It's not just that they're winning these games; they are destroying the competition.
No, and like I said on X, Nebraska is not a bad football team. And
we quit in that game. I don't care what anybody says. We just quit and gave up in that game. That we just let the floodgates open up. Honestly.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like seeing them recreate what they've done the previous 6 weeks was insane to me. Because, Nebraska probably mailed it in.
Jamari Butler said as much. He said when we came out of the locker room the second half, we had our heads down. We doubted ourselves. We got down on ourselves. And so they basically quit at halftime.
If I got my butt kicked like that
against
Indiana, I probably would too.
Nebraska was inside the 15-yard line like 4 times, but we can't kick a field goal. We fumbled one of them. The other ones we just didn't score a touchdown, but we were right there, 4 times. But we don't bring you see, we didn't bring our kickers out there one time. It's because nobody can kick a damn field goal. That's why.
You did say
I always score damn points. I'm pissed, bro. Sorry.
All right.
Oh,
I'm sorry, bro.
Demonetized.
It messed up my win percentage.
But no, dude, 56 to.
I never would have guessed that, my dude. I'm sorry. Like, I was about to send a welfare check on the whole state out there, bro. And that's not me trying to take a shot. Like, I was literally in shock. I am a believer in Cignetti. I am. But what? Wow.
I'm telling you, we got our asses whooped, but I do think that score is a little extra. That score looks. Oh, and I'm not saying we did not completely get destroyed, get our ass kicked in every sense of the game. We everything, right?
Do you have the scores just so we can be embarrassed about what we thought this game was going to be like?
That score was just. It was just like I said. When the wheels fall off, right? You know that phrase. Like the wheels fell off, but then the whole car spontaneously combusted, and that's what happened. Right?
No, Justin, I would have to believe that. Let's say there's a world where Indiana is just like doing what Purdue did to Urban Meyer. If he has a chance to lay it on Ohio State, he's gonna do it. I think that's what he did to you guys.
He did it to us. Somebody posted at halftime. They said if Kirk Cignetti has a chance to put up 50, he's not gonna let off the gas. He will. And so I saw somebody tweet at halftime. They said if we have quit at halftime, they're going to drop 50 on us, and that's exactly what happened.
I'll tell you what, man. He is a very confident individual. He's like, yo, I win everywhere I go. Google me. I did. I'm like, dang, he does.
Yeah, okay. He does. The hard part about it, too, is they attacked the middle of the field, and I talked about that a lot, right? But what they did in this game was they attacked the outsides a little bit more. But the problem is he puts that ball in such a good place that coverage or not, those wide receivers were going to get those 50-50 balls like nothing. and he put them in such a good place where only the wide receivers could get to him. Like, that's what makes them so tough to beat. Now, with Curtis Rourke out, depending on how long he's going to be out for, hopefully not very long, but Taven Jackson is good as well, just young. But it's just the way that team is coached, it plays to all of their strengths. You know, he brought in his staff. So he came in with his own guys. He was able to hit the ground running. He brought in all those transfers, and he went like production over you know, he wanted the guys who were going to produce, not talent. Like Dion did something a little different where he went with guys who are 4 and 5 stars who are going to, you know, he's going for talent. Whereas Cignetti like, I'm going with these guys that are producing and fit my system and that I know, and they know my system. And he's just schemed that entirely up to their strengths. That's what makes this team so difficult to face. Now, I think if there's a team that can take them out of it, it's going to be the Ohio State team, because I just don't think Nebraska was very good. Nebraska's defense got on their heels against Illinois, so they very much got on their heels against Indiana, right? And I just don't think Indiana will be able to get, you know, like Ohio State on their heels near as much or confuse their eyes. I just think Ohio State's so much more better coached. Their talent's a lot better, of course. And I don't think they're going to fall for the same traps and setups that Nebraska did. And I also just think they're athlete-wise, I just think they're going to have the ability to go up and be able to kind of, you know, muscle these guys and fight for some of those 50-50 balls that Nebraska gave up.
Well, you know, I hate to say it, but I guess Jim Knowles will have to call a good game in that one, right?
He better.
He can call it a good game and a big game.
He better.
That's not even a shot. That's facts.
Here's what you guys had for Nebraska, Indiana. So Nebraska on the left, Indiana on the right. So Mac had 21-35 Indiana. Justin had 28-24 Nebraska. Peter, 21-27 Indiana. Rob, 27-23 Nebraska. Garrison, 24-26 Indiana.
I knew as soon as I selected never mind. No, I'm good. I forgot my first prediction. I had a field goal in there, and I was like, that's why I moved it to 28. I had 31-24 at first, but I was going to say that's where I went wrong, is I had a field goal in there, but I didn't.
We were disrespectful to Indiana.
We were.
Yep. I was actually thinking about calling them to win the blowout too. I should have just called that.
You can call it in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna call it when you guys go to when Indiana goes to Ohio State. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I'm sure we're all thinking we should have called that too. Yeah, I should have called the Indiana blowout too.
Yeah, you should have. You should have done that.
You should have done it.
Where am I at?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I do like Indiana though. I'm on the hype train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm all aboard.
I respect Indiana like crazy, even though they beat our ass. Yeah.
I am driving that hype train. I am the conductor of the Indiana hype train. I am about to go buy a shirt and prove it.
Kevin Wilson had some fantastic offenses in Bloomington. They were fun to watch. I was super thankful he came to Columbus for all the years that he gave our offense some jolts and some creativity that Urban was, you know, kind of lacking in his later years. And, you know, he was phenomenal for Ohio State. And now I think he's at Tulsa, I think. As a head coach again. And our offense last year obviously took a massive step back.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.